Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular board meeting for the Simcoe County District School Board for Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. We'll start this meeting tonight with A1, the Land Acknowledgement of Traditional Territory, and that'll be read by Trustee Armstrong. Thank you.
Thank you. Simcoe County District School Board acknowledges that we are situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. The Anishinaabe include the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fire Confederacy. We're dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect with all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people.
Please rise if you're able for the national anthem. The version of the national anthem is courtesy of the Barrie North Collegiate Institute. All right, now Trustee Armstrong will read the Statement of Respect.
The Simcoe County District School Board is committed to creating a culture of belonging, engagement, and success for all through deliberate actions and an intentional focus in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The Simcoe County District School Board of Trustees will conduct meetings in an inclusive, respectful manner that upholds the principles of respect of human rights and allows all members, staff, and guests to participate fully regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, age, ability, and gender.
All right, thank you for that. Now we're at A4, roll call, will be taken by Executive Assistant Henry. We have chair-approved electronic participation tonight from Trustee Grummett. Trustee Harrigan is absent this evening. She advised me in advance that she has responsibilities at another education event this evening, and as such is unable to attend tonight's regular meeting of the board. At this time, we're required to move a motion to authorize or not authorize Trustee Harrigan's absence. Is there a trustee who would like to move a motion to authorize the absence of Trustee Harrigan for this meeting, September 24th, 2025? Trustee Talbot, seconded by Trustee Lloyd. All right, so the motion is that the board authorize the absence of Trustee Ann Harrigan for the regular meeting of the board held September 24th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments on this? All right, then I'll call the question. All those in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Thank you, and that carries. A5 is the approval of the agenda. Do we have a mover for the approval of the agenda? Trustee Lloyd, seconded by Trustee Talbot. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. A6 is declaration of conflicts of interest. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest tonight? All right, not seeing any. Then we'll move to A7, which is the approval of the consent agenda. And tonight on the consent agenda are the minutes of the regular meeting of the board held August 27th, 2025. Are there any items does anybody want to move that item from the consent agenda? Okay, then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a mover for this? Trustee Armstrong, seconded by Trustee Rafiq. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you. A8 is the report from student trustees, and tonight we have a report from student trustee Perry.
Thank you. Through the chair to the table, the Student Senate kicked off its first meeting of the year with great energy and solid representation across the county. Discussions were lively, grade 9 transitions took center stage. Let's just say the nerves were real. Students shared that many grade 9s feel like they're entering a whole new world and suggested that high schoolers create a welcome video for grade 8s to help ease the tension. Other ideas included implementing Wellness Wednesdays and organizing field trips at the board for grade 8 students to get to know other grade grade 8 students going to the same high school. We also tackled the issue of club succession, especially when grade 12 students graduate, there's no one to take over the leadership role. Students proposed better delegation of leadership to ensure clubs continue. Finally, when it comes to advertising clubs, students emphasize the need for variety. Every student should feel seen, heard, and represented, whether they're into robotics, poetry, or other competitive activities. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that report. Are there any questions or comments from trustees? Trustee Lloyd?
Thank you, and through you, thank you very much for your report. My question is just in relation to what you mentioned with respect to clubs and succession planning. So I'm just trying to understand what the issue is. Is it the fact that the students are staying as the leader of the club right through school, and then when they finish in grade 12, there's nobody prepped to come in behind them? Is that the issue you're trying to resolve?
Student Trustee Perry.
Yeah, so essentially we were having discussions about when grade 12s graduate, who is there to take over, and students were finding that once clubs have a grade 12 leadership that graduates, they have not reached out to a younger student to get them to carry on that club, and students were talking about how clubs tend to die out, and that there's no one to carry on that club in that community. So we were hoping that grade 12 students would make more of an effort to reach out to grade 9, grade 10s, and grade 11s who want to take on a leadership role in that club to help it move forward in the coming years.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, well, thank you very much for that report, Student Trustee Perry. And now we'll go to A9, which is Trustee Tribute, and we have a few of those tonight, so I'm going to move on over to the podium to make this a bit easier. Okay, so 7 finalists from last year's Simcoe County Science and Technology Fair advanced to the Canada-wide Science Fair that was held in June 2025 in Fredericton, New Brunswick. After a series of intensive judging, interviews, and evaluations, 4 SCDSP students were successful in winning medals from this national competition. At this time, I'll invite each of the 4 award recipients to join me at the podium. When I call your name, I will introduce each award winner individually and present the Trustee Tribute plaque. A brief video highlighting each of the students' projects will also be shown. Each student is invited to remain standing at the podium until the final introduction, at which time we will proceed out of the room to have a few photos taken by the Communications Department. So our first medalist is Ann Bowman. Ann, please join me at the podium. Ann attended Cookstown Central Public School last year and is now a grade 9 student at Banting Memorial High School. Ann was awarded a silver medal for her project entitled The Road to Greener Future, Using Graphene to Increase the Thermal Conductivity of Concrete. We will now take a moment to view a brief video to learn about Ann's project.
My name is Anne, and I'm a grade 8 student from Simcoe County, Ontario. In Canada, we use 5 million tons of salt on our roadways every year. Salt is a very harmful substance to the environment and has a significant impact on our aquatic and land-based ecosystems. In order to work towards a healthier planet, we need to find alternatives to maintain our roadways in winter. For my project, I'm exploring a different winter maintenance strategy by conducting heat through the concrete in a roadway to melt ice and snow on top. To make the concrete conductive enough to support this idea, I'm experimenting with graphene, a 2-dimensional material made of carbon atoms arranged in a hexagonal lattice formation. Graphene has a very high thermal conductivity, among other unique properties. I've not finished testing it, but so far, graphene has not been able to increase the thermal conductivity of concrete. Science is all about trying to find new things and try and solve different problems. Even though I haven't found the solution to this problem yet, it's important to keep changing variables until a solution is found.
There's your Trustee Tribute Award. Thank you very much. Where's she go here? Okay, yeah, just if you could stand over there. All right, perfect. And now our second medalist is Solomon Coogan. Solomon, please join me at the podium. Solomon attends Bear Creek Secondary School and was awarded a bronze medal for his project entitled Mitigating Stress Using Combined Vagal Stimulation and Traditional Therapy. Let's take a moment to view the video to learn about Solomon's project.
My name is Solomon, and my project is about creating an effective and safe short-term stress mitigation technique. Stress is widespread in Canada, affecting 80% of healthcare workers and 20% of seniors, which makes stress mitigation techniques of critical importance. My solution is combined vagus nerve stimulation, or CVNS. I combine laser and electrical stimuli, and by using two different mechanisms, I can avoid discomfort and decrease the chance of overstimulation seen in existing methods. Laser is applied on the left side of the neck, and electrical stimulation is applied on the right. I found that CVNS is an effective tool for reducing or improving markers of stress, anxiety, and depression like beta balance, theta dominance, and heart rate variability, all without a high chance of overstimulation. This shows that it's an effective tool for stress mitigation, providing a tool that can improve lives for millions of Canadians. I also worked with a shaman and tested on the effect of indigenous practices on the brain's electrical activity. Overall, CVNS is an effective tool for stress mitigation and can provide an easily customizable and safe solution to short-term stress and depression management, possibly being complemented by long-term stress and depression mitigation techniques like indigenous therapy.
All right, very good. Congratulations, there you go. Our third medalist is Fatima Azam. Fatima, please join me at the podium. Fatima attended Cundles Heights Public School last year and is now a grade 9 student at Barrie North Collegiate. Fatima was awarded a bronze medal for her project named Cardio Call, an oxygenated response. Let's learn about Fatima's project.
There were over 10,000 serious injuries and fatalities reported due to vehicle collision in 2022 in Canada. Hi, I'm Fatima, and I developed Cardio Call as a method to improve medical support and first response during these collisions. Let's move on to the demo. So this is my final proof of concept, and when I press the button here, the mask deploys from here. Meanwhile, first responders are being contacted.
Have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code. Please help. I have an emergency problem.
As you can see from my demo, my device consists of two main features: notifying first responders with a call and deploying an oxygen mask for medical support. My inspiration for this project came after coming across various news articles about the many lives that are lost each year due to delayed emergency responses. Throughout this project, I learned how to build circuits, how to build models, and how to write code for my models. Overall, I believe this device has the potential to save Canadians during all medical emergencies.
Very good. All right, congratulations. All right, and our fourth medalist is Arya Shrivastava. Arya, please join me at the podium, please. Arya attended Cookstown Central Public School last year and is now a grade 9 student at Bradford District High School. Arya was awarded a bronze medal for his project named AI Waste Sorter. Here is his project description.
Everyone, my name is Arya Shrivastava, and I built the AI waste sorter because I believe one simple idea can help change the world. Right now we are drowning in plastic. Every year, 350 million tons ends up in landfills, yet only 9% is recycled, mostly because it is sorted wrong or ignored. So I asked, what if technology could do better? I created an AI waste sorter, a smart system that uses computer vision to automatically sort recyclables and trash, reducing human error and saving what would have ended up in landfills. I trained it on thousands of images, including bottles, bags, wrappers, tissues, etc. 2 models were built, one for homes and offices, the other for recycling plants. Together, they achieved an overall accuracy rate of 77% and detected unfamiliar objects with an accuracy rate of 85%. This isn't just AI, it's action. And we made the mess, we can clean it up, and it starts with one idea, one step. Let's change it together.
Very good. All right, thank you. Congratulations, Arya. On behalf of On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to congratulate each of you on your accomplishments and wish you all the best for this school year and as you continue your educational journey. So at this time, we're going to go out in the hall and take a few photos, so we'll be right back, folks. Okay, folks, we're going to move along with the agenda here. And it takes us, we're still in A9, Trustee Tribute, but now we're at B, Ontario Public School Boards Association OPSPA 2025 Awards Program. And tonight we have an Achievement Award for Emma Ironside, Forest Hill Public School, Achievement Award for Jeff Toole, Innisdale Secondary School, and an Award of Excellence for Mardad Safadari, Equity Advisory Committee and Parent Involvement Committee member. Each year, the Ontario Public School Board Association honors individuals who have made significant contributions in the field of education. 3 individuals from the Simcoe County District School Board were award recipients this past year and are recognized for their outstanding, exemplary, and/or unique contributions to the overall well-being of the school or community through in-school, board-wide, extracurricular, and/or volunteer activity. Emma Ironside, teacher at Forest Hill Public School, and Jeff Toole, teacher at Innisdale Secondary School, were both recipients of the Ontario Public School Boards Association Achievement Award. Mehrdad Safazardeh is the recipient of the Ontario Public School Boards Association Award of Excellence for his work with the Simcoe County District School Board Equity Advisory and Parent Involvement Committees. At this time, I will be presenting Emma with her Award of Achievement. I will then call upon the trustees who will be presenting the other awards. At the conclusion of each award presentation, award recipients are asked to please return to their seat until the final award is presented, at which time we will proceed out to the outside there and take a photo with the communications department. So if I could invite Emma to join me here at the podium. All right. Okay. So Emma Ironside is an outstanding educator whose dedication and creativity make a significant impact on the lives of her students and the wider school community. She is a dynamic leader at Forest Hill, known for fostering meaningful connections, building a strong sense of belonging, and engaging students in rich and inclusive learning experiences. She warmly welcomes and organizes school-wide events that bring the Forest Hill community together and celebrate student voice and identity. In addition to her classroom excellence, Emma is a leader in Indigenous education at the school. She organizes and leads school-wide initiatives that honor truth and reconciliation, embedding Indigenous ways of knowing and being into daily learning in collaboration with the school's Indigenous education team. She secures grant funding to ensure all students can participate in Indigenous initiatives, brings her students to powwows, and welcomes dancers and elders into the school. Emma also supports educators through professional learning, such as the 13 Moons, while continually seeking out meaningful resources for classroom use. Emma's open communication with families and community partners, combined with her leadership and commitment to equity, enrich the school and inspire all who work with her. It is with great pride that we recognize Emma Ironside as a recipient of the OPSPA Achievement Award. And there's your award. Emma, would you like to say a few words?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you all. I have a very deep gratitude for this incredible honor. Firstly, I would like to thank all of my families, my children and my parents who are with us tonight, many of my Forest Hill family who join me, and my chosen family, my friends. Thank you to all of you for sharing in this path, for holding space for me, and for walking beside me and encouraging me through it all. I would also like to give a special thanks to Dustin and Sarah from the Indigenous Department for all of their support in our school and our endeavors, and a thank you to all of you this evening for being here and for this great honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emma. So I would now like to invite Trustee Wilson to the podium to present the OPSPA Achievement Award to Jeff Toole.
please. Thank you. Jeff is an outstanding educator whose dedication and creativity make a significant impact on the lives of his students and the wider school community. Jeff is a dynamic leader who is in his 18th year of teaching at Innisdale Secondary School. Throughout his career at Innisdale, Jeff has taught arts, film studies, English, e-learning, history, and social studies. Some of Jeff's accomplishments include past senior girls and boys basketball coach. Jeff coached the teams for 7 years with 2 trips to OFSA in consecutive years. It's a great accomplishment. Jeff has been the Global Perspectives Coordinator for more than 10 years and has been an e-learning teacher helping the board e-learning team develop instruction and curriculum. Jeff shared that he is proud of the positive relationships that he has built here at the board level and globally. Strengthening these relationships, gaining and developing trust, problem solving, and curtailing essential programming for students here and abroad has been crucial to his mission as a teacher. Working with others to cultivate top-notch programming and experiences for students and receiving positive feedback regarding the program has shown Jeff that his work in collaboration with others is important. It is with great pride, that we recognize Jeff Toole as the recipient of the OSPA Achievement Award. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure.
Awesome.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be standing in front of you all tonight. Many faces that I've come to know, but like you said, the nerves are real right now, and I didn't bring up a sheet of paper like that other lady did, so I'm just going to say some things. We don't get into teaching to be honored or awarded like this. We're not looking for praise. But it's nice when it comes. We get into teaching because we have a passion for it, and if we're lucky, we can be teaching for 18 plus years and continue to have that passion, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I've been also lucky to have some people counsel and guide me on my journey as a teacher. Some of them are here tonight. I'd like to give a shout out to some teachers at our school who have made a difference or who continue to help me along the way. I'll give a shout out to Mr. Jamie Babcock, who's my right-hand man when we're running our Global Perspectives program, and the person who designed that program, his name was David Morrison. There's been several administrators that have also been influential on my career as a teacher. One of them is here. Two of them are here tonight, actually. Julie Renison is sitting over there. We have Brian McIsaac, who was a principal or oversaw the global program. And last but certainly not least, someone who kind of came up the ranks with me a little bit, our director, Don Stevens, who knows a little bit about our program. And I can't say enough great things about that person over there. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it a lot.
Congratulations again. Thank you. If you have a seat, we'll take pictures.
All right, thank you. And now I'd like to invite Trustee Rafiq to the podium to present the OPSPA Award of Excellence to Mayor Dad.
Thank you very much. Mayor Dad, would you like to come join me? Oh my goodness, I forgot my glasses. Sorry. It's a new thing that I can't see without them. Sorry. Okay, so I had the privilege of working alongside Mayor Dad on both the Equity Advisory Committee and the Parent Involvement Committee for many years, with an especially long partnership on the Parent Involvement Committee. I was thinking about it, and I believe it was 2017 that we met at a Parent Involvement Committee Connections event. Mayor Dad and I were in a working group together that evening, and at the end of it, I said to him, "You need to apply for PIC. You need to come and work with us." He did, and he was chosen, and we have worked together ever since. on and off in different capacities ever since. Throughout that time, Mayor Dad has demonstrated remarkable dedication for engaging parents and encouraging their active participation in school councils and at the school board level. Excuse me. He's been an excellent recruiter, successfully passing his passion for engagement on to those around him. Mayor Dad has been very committed to understanding the inner workings of the school board and shares his knowledge by helping parents navigate the system and finding the support and answers that they need. He took on the various roles over the years, vice chair of the Parent Involvement Committee, chair of the Parent Involvement Committee, and chair of the Equity Advisory Committee as well. His hard work and genuine care have made a real difference in our community, and I am honored to give you this award tonight. Thank you for your commitment, Mayor Dad. Yes, please.
So, good evening. They asked me to speak a little louder. Wow, it's too much stress. All the bosses are here. So good evening, Director of Education, trustees, beautiful superintendents, all the staff and member of SCDSB. I'm really truly honored to receive the Ontario Public School Board Association Award of Excellence 2025. This recognition means a great deal to me because it reflects not just my own effort, but also the collective commitment of our community to equity, inclusion, and meaningful parent involvement. Over the years, I have had the privilege of serving as a school council chair and vice chair of Parent Involvement Committee, executive member of Parent Involvement Committee, and the chair of Equity Advisory Committee of SCDSB. Each year, I have witnessed the dedication, the incredible dedication of many parents, educators, and board staff that they work tirelessly to support each student feels supported, heard, valued, and included. This award is not mine alone. In Ontario, I know for SCDSB, it's a very good award of excellence among all other cities and awards. And so I feel like that it belongs to many other people who share the vision of making our schools welcoming spaces where every child has the opportunity to succeed. I want to thank the board for this honor and my fellow committee members for their collaboration and my family for their constant support. I look forward to continuing this work and to building on the progress we have made together. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Mayor Dad. So now we're going to take a few moments for photos. So I would like to invite the award recipients to join me, Trustee Rafiq and Trustee Wilson, out in the hallway, please. Thank you. Okay, folks, welcome back. All right, so we're going to move along with the agenda to A10, presentations and delegations. We don't have any presentations or delegations tonight. B is recommendations for action public session. B1 is matters arising from the previous meeting. There are no matters arising from the previous meeting. B2, there are no time-sensitive motions from statutory committees. B3, the committee minutes, reports, items for decision, items pulled from the consent agenda. Nothing was pulled from the consent agenda. So that takes us to B4, which is staff reports, items for decision. And under A is Special Education Advisory Committee member appointment. And for that report, we have Superintendent Jacobs. No? Oh, I thought I got it wrong.
and through the chair to the table. So under Regulation 46497, under the Special Education Advisory Committee, it sets out the requirement that school boards establish a Special Education Advisory Committee. And in this place, SEAC is a committee of a school board that provides consultative role. And during this time, we've had to replace one of the SEAC members. And so for Empower Simcoe, currently the member representation on SEAC has provided the following nomination to carry out the remainder of the term, effective October 6, 2025, and that's Kelly Bell as the SEAC member. And through the chair to the table, I'll take any questions.
All right, thank you for that, sir. Any questions or comments on this? No? Okay. Thank you very much. So then I'll read the motion and call the question. That the board appoint to the SCDSB SEAC effective October 6, 2025, Kelly Bell as the SEAC member representing Empower Simcoe as set out in report number B4A, Special Education Advisory Committee member appointment dated September 24th, 2025. Do I have a mover for this? Trustee Rafiq, seconded by Trustee Talbot. All those in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Nope, and that carries. Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent Jacobs. And that takes us to B4B, which is capital priorities. And for this report, we have Superintendent Van Nispen.
Thank you, and through the chair, I'd like to ask permission to have Manager Kukin, Senior Manager Kukin, join me at the table.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome, sir.
And through the chair to the table. So the report before you tonight is in relation to our capital priorities program, much anticipated 2025-2026. We received the call for priorities on September 8th through ministry memo as provided in Appendix A of the report. Criteria is the same as the last ministry request with an emphasis on project readiness, shovel ready, and design standardization. The submission date of October 8th is what brings this report to you tonight. Staff continue to work on and advance numerous projects as presented in Appendix B. Staff have been proactively working on the business cases for submission in anticipation of this capital priority announcement, as we have been expecting it over the course of the summer. From the last priority cycle, our board submitted 11 projects and attracted approval funding for 2 projects, the new Wasaga Secondary School and the new Hewitts No. 2 Elementary School. We have been commended and recognized by the ministry staff for being a sector leader in working to the spirit and intent of the shovel-ready mandate. We have had multiple boards directed to us by the ministry staff to answer questions and provide guidance as to how we have moved our projects forward towards the shovel-ready status. Board staff still continue to progress the 9 projects we did not receive funding for in the last priority call, and have added 1 more project to make up the list of the 10 recommended projects for submission before you tonight. The recommended order of the capital priority projects was heavily reviewed, discussed, and debated by staff, with the resulting order what we believe best represents timing, need, and shovel readiness and will attract funding. I'll run through the status or the checks in the boxes that we have for each of the 10 projects on the list tonight. Number 1, we've got the Warnica Replacement and Growth Project. This was placed number 1 in the number 1 spot, as we did in the last call, as this project carries with it a timing factor in that we will have to accommodate students at alternative sites during construction, which we have a brief 3 to 4 year window in the area where this can occur. Based on enrollment projections, we will not have the ability in the future, as the alternate school locations will no longer have the capacity to support the project. Repeat design with site plan submission is targeted this December. Number 2, the new Tottenham Elementary Growth Project. One of our shovel-ready business cases in that we check all the boxes the ministry is looking for, including approved site plan approval, SPA, by the local municipality. We are ready for tender upon approval of funding. The next is the Emma King Public School Addition, growth related. This is another shovel-ready project with the SPA site plan approval in place. We then have the Huronia Centennial Public School Addition, growth related. We currently have our second submission of site plan approval in with the municipality. The next project is the new Bradford Secondary growth related project. For this one, we are awaiting results of the MZO currently at the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Arda Bluffs Public School Addition, growth related. The site plan approval has been will be submitted to the city this fall. Nottawa Elementary School Addition, growth related. Site plan approval has been submitted to the municipality. Baxter Central Public School Addition, growth related. Servicing project was completed this summer, and the SPA submission will occur this fall to the municipality. Number 9, we have the new Stainer Elementary, growth related. We have been working with the local municipality and the ministry on this project. Design and due diligence are being completed. And lastly, we have the Collingwood CCI replacement project. This project is still in the due diligence and planning stage. However, staff have included it on the list as an indicator to the ministry for their advanced planning, as this project will be advancing and carries a large budgetary ask. We thank the local municipal council for their interest and support of this project and have been working very well with Collingwood municipal staff. And that is our prioritized list staff have recommended for you tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Van Nispen. Any questions or comments? No? Trustee Bites.
Thank you, through you, Chair Powell, to Superintendent Van Nispen. First of all, I want to say thank you for putting New Tottenham Elementary School, number 2, on the list. However, I'm disappointed not to see a new Alliston Elementary School on the list. As we know, when we started the shovel readiness, which I totally think is amazing, however, it was like the number 2 priority behind Banting before, or behind, anyway, it was way up there because of pressure and growth accommodation, and I have been nagging about getting this done. And I want to know, because I thought we were getting closer on the land issue with that school. I don't know if there's anything you can say or give us some glimmer of hope. Thank you.
Superintendent Van Nispen.
Thank you, and through the chair to Trustee Bites. So the project, as you'll see in Appendix B, is still on our list of projects that we are advancing. It just, unfortunately, at this point in time, doesn't have the checks in the box that the ministry is looking for. We do anticipate that we will be bringing a report to the Board of Trustees in November related to how the land acquisition process is proceeding.
Follow-up, Trustee Bites?
Yes, thank you. Through you to Superintendent Hessen. Thank you for that update, and I understand where you're coming from. I just always have to point out that we have accommodation pressures that are greater than the ones on this list, but are not on this list because we don't have land yet and we don't have them shovel ready. So I just want to always bring that to the forefront. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Bites. Trustee Foley?
Thank you, Chair, and through you to Superintendent Van Nispen. Thank you very much for getting Collingwood CCI on the list as far back as it is. I can certainly tell you that having talked to a lot of the councillors and mayor, that they breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that it's in our thoughts and in our plans. And although CCI has been a wonderful school, it has reached almost its limit at this point, like a good champion, and looking forward to replacing that school at some point in the near future. Thank you very much. And thanks for all the work that you've done on this. I know it's taken a lot, and I know that it's down the road quite a ways, but you know, all the planning and ideas that'll go into this will be wonderful for Collingwood. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Trustee Rafiq?
Thank you very much, and through the chair. Yes, I echo my trustee colleagues' comments. Thank you very much. I know there's a lot of work that goes into this, so I very much appreciate that. I had a question about you talked about the order, the numbering, the debate, heavy thought that goes into it. I've never seen a 1, 2, 3 pick from the ministry. So, a lot goes into these choices. We are the ones on the ground. You're the ones in the schools. You're the ones doing the work. You're the ones putting the heavy evidence behind why these choices are numbered the way they are. Do you have any insight to why we might get number 8, number 5, and number 3, as opposed to what we identify as heavily needed 1, 2, 3?
Superintendent Van Nispen.
Thank you, and through the chair to Trustee Rafiq. I think this question comes around every time we bring the capital priority list to this table. Yet again, I will answer. I cannot speak to how the ministry makes their final decision. I do know that particularly with the new system, the shovel-ready system, there is more specific direction to the school boards with regards to what they are looking for. The checks in the boxes, having land, having a design, having your site plan approval. So essentially being in that position that if and when they give approval and provide the funding for a project, you can immediately move to tender, which is then shortly followed by the construction of the facility itself. So we put these business cases forward. As I indicated, we have been recognized by ministry staff as taking that ministry guidance, what they're looking for, very seriously, and tailoring our business plans to meet those requirements. Ministry staff then go through them, rank them, score them. Do have to take into account that they aren't just looking at ours, they are looking at the province as a whole. And then they make their recommendations to the ministry, the minister's office, and from there the final decisions are made. So that is all the insight I can provide as to the selection process.
Follow up, Trustee Rafiq.
Thank you very much, and through the chair, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I know it's a question that is asked. I'm sure I've asked it before as well, but I think it's very important to always talk about, because I think so much work is put into these numbering, right? And they're there for a reason. And when we get different choices and different picks, it's hard sometimes. So I just hope it's always based on need, the choice from the ministry, not based on political pressures. I think we need to be making sure these choices are based on need. I did also want to ask about my area in particular a little bit. We are very overloaded in Angus, which we've talked about many times over here. We are very excited about the new school coming there. I was visiting some schools today, and I had a comment about portables disappearing from Angus after this new school opened, and I had to deliver the harsh truth of that is not close to happening. We will still, even with the new school open in Angus, we will still be extremely overloaded. So I'm looking forward to already seeing another Angus school on that list. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to the choice of a Baxter addition versus a new Angus school, and how that would help the area.
Superintendent Van Nispen.
And thank you through the chair to Trustee Rafiq. So you are absolutely correct. We are breaking ground on the new Angus elementary project, and that will address the 21 portables we have at our current elementary schools that are in the town. But it doesn't fulfill that further future growth need. At the same time, we are seeing growth elsewhere within the township, including Baxter. And so the addition at Baxter will give us two sort of advantages. One, it helps support the growth that's in the immediate area of Baxter, but it also gives us that flexibility that while we're advancing the project for a fourth elementary school in Angus, it gives us that capacity for the students of the area.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Trustee Bites.
Yes, thank you. Through you to Superintendent Van Nispen, I wanted to ask about what is the land priorities funding, since we have such a deficit of development charge funding to buy land. I was just wondering if this was something new, or if I just had not noticed it. If you could maybe provide a little context on what that is, and if we've applied for it with these projects.
Superintendent.
Thank you, and through the chair to Trustee Bites. Majority of our projects that we have here for new schools, they are from growth in the area. And so when we purchase greenfield or new properties to support those projects that are growth related, we use EDC, funds raised through EDCs, educational development charges, to pay for those projects. The ministry does have the land priority fund, and it is used for a few different scenarios. We have accessed it in the past on some of our previous capital projects where we're rebuilding. It's a replacement school, and when we go to do the construction, it's identified that we have additional soils that need to be addressed, removed, and new soils brought in that are over and above what the original approval for funding for the project was. An additional cost. Because it's not a growth school, we cannot use EDC funds. So we would go to the ministry, and have gone to the ministry, to get a budget increase on a project and get funds from that land priorities.
Follow up, Trustee Bites.
Thank you. Through you, Chair Powell. Speaking of replacement schools, how is Banting coming along?
Superintendent.
Thank you, and through the chair to Trustee Bites. Do have another meeting tomorrow with township staff. However, we believe that October 6th they will be taking a report to their town council for recommendation and consideration.
All right, thank you. So no other questions or comments. I will read the motion, read the recommendation, and call the question. That the board approve the capital priority list and direct staff to submit the necessary project submissions to the Ministry of Education by October the 8th, 2025, as set out in report number B4B, Capital Priorities Program 2025-26, dated September 24th, 2025. Do I have a mover for this? Trustee Foley, seconded by Trustee Talbot. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you. Thank you, folks. That takes us to B5, which is committee minutes reports, items for information. And the following reports have been already provided for information, but I'll just go through them. A, report of the program standing committee meeting held September 10th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments regarding this report? Thank you. B is the report of the Director Performance Appraisal Committee meeting held August 27th, 2025. Are there any questions or comments regarding this report? Thank you. C is the report of the Indigenous Education Advisory Committee meeting held June 3rd, 2025. Any questions or comments on this? No. Okay. D is the report of the First Nations Education Advisory Committee meeting held June 3rd, 2025. Any questions or comments? And finally, the report of the Special Education Advisory Committee meeting held June 2nd, 2025. Are there any questions or comments on this report? All right. Thank you. So that takes us to B6, which is staff reports, items for information. And we have one item tonight, the Human Rights and Equity Office. Manager Bukhari will speak to this report. Thank you.
Through you, Chair Powell, to the table. Good evening. The Human Rights and Equity Office has had another productive year supporting students and their families and staff members. The HREO is an arm's-length office to the board with the mandate of ensuring human rights are protected and promoting a culture of human rights and equity across the board. At the HREO, we hear concerns from students, parents, and families, staff members, and anyone in the SCDSB community on all of the 17 protected Human Rights Code grounds. Some of the types of concerns that we hear most often about include anti-Black racism, anti-Indigenous racism, disability, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and others. It is crucial that these concerns are addressed and that any systemic practice or policy changes occur to prevent such issues in the future. I would like to share a bit about the makeup of the Human Rights and Equity Office. The office has a full-time permanent administrator who functions as an executive assistant, as well as frontline response for individuals reaching out for support. She is located at the Ed Center, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, for anyone who wishes to reach out. Over the past 2 years, the HREO has been able to offer the support of a student advisor in schools during the spring where there are higher needs to support racialized students and enhance classroom attendance and participation in the school community, promoting feelings of inclusion and a sense of belonging. The newest addition to the office is a full-time systems navigator and early resolutions officer. After working with many students and families facing various challenges, the HREO is offering a dedicated person who will offer trauma-informed practices that are needed when there is racial trauma and other emotional impacts of human rights and equity violations and experiences of exclusion and marginalization for persons of equity-seeking communities. If you are attending any upcoming meetings of committees of the board, you may have an opportunity to meet our new Systems Navigator and Early Resolutions Officer, Elizabeth Wiltshire, and learn more about her role. I would like to take a moment to share learnings from the work of the Human Rights and Equity Office and the importance of having a System Navigator and Early Resolutions Officer in place. We have been working with students and families who have experiences of exclusion, marginalization, and associated trauma, such as racial trauma. Working with individuals who come to our office through a trauma-informed and culturally appropriate lens is critical to supporting them through difficult circumstances and, importantly, to continue to strengthen their relationship within their school community. As we have seen, there are significant consequences to mental health when individuals experience human rights violations, or even when there are perceived forms of exclusions, discrimination, hate, and bias. This is why it is so important to address microaggressions, because though they may be small or one-time incidents for some, for the person experiencing it, it may be the final straw in their mental, spiritual, and emotional capacity. There have been occasions where the Human Rights and Equity Office has had to do wellness checks. As you are aware, the demographics of Simcoe County are continuing to change, and it is important that SCDSB remain ahead of the curve to offer the appropriate supports. In addition to responding to individual concerns and complaints, working on systemic change is key to prevent occurrences of inequity, discrimination, hate, and bias. The Human Rights and Equity Office is leading and monitoring the Employment Equity Action Plan. The SCDSB has successfully completed the slated goals of Year 1 and Year 2, and we are now in our third year of the plan. The AAP quarterly and annually updates are provided on the HREO website. Please do have a look. Currently, you will see the end of this past year update, and the next quarterly update is slated for November. Based on the recommendations of the EEAP, over the past year, the Board of Trustees has approved 3 policies: Policy 2195, Ethics and Integrity Reporting; Policy 3110, Recruitment of Employees; and Policy 3117, Workplace Accommodation. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for your ongoing support of human rights at SCDSB. You have each had an opportunity to sign the I Belong Pledge, which was part of the communications campaign for the EAP. Soon we hope to have our display of the signatures at the Ed Center. Please do look out for this sometime over the school year. Over the past academic year, the Human Rights and Equity Office has offered various recommendations to the SCDSB, including education for school staff and practice changes through the director and the senior team. I will share 2 notable initiatives undertaken by the board through the leadership of the associate director following Human Rights and Equity recommendations. The first was the creation of guidelines for librarians around promotions of books to be in accordance with human rights and equity. This includes, for example, when there is a display theme, let's say for Indigenous History Month, that authors with lived experience are highlighted and promoted. The second initiative is to offer support to educators. As students in our classrooms are more and more reflecting a microcosm of the globe, It is important that we integrate student voice, lived experience, and diverse perspectives. This not only results in a better classroom experience for students, but also strengthens the skills of students to model principles of human rights and to be able to make sense of an ever so rapidly changing social world as they move forward beyond SCDSB. The SCDSB has been working on these two initiatives, and outcomes are expected this upcoming term. Systemically, on the staff side, with all of our leaders, the HREO was able to support learning on cultural humility with our school administrators as part of the SCDSB leadership framework. Cultural humility and emerging best practice is a lifelong process of self-evaluation and self-critique to acknowledge and address personal and systemic biases, power imbalances, and privileges with the goal of fostering mutual trust and respect in relationships and partnerships, particularly with people from different social locations and identities. It requires a commitment to continuous learning and recognizes that others are the experts in their own cultural experiences. It is a huge part of the way that we work with individuals at the Human Rights and Equity Office. On the student side, as the Human Rights and Equity Manager, I must share that one of my personal favorite moments is working with the Equity Action Committee to select an annual recipient of the Umoja Black Secondary Student School Leadership Award. This is an annual scholarship for a Black secondary school student who demonstrates leadership within their school community and in the Black community within Simcoe County. This past June, the winner of the Umoja Award was Jade Simmons, a graduating student at Nantyre Shore Secondary School, whom you all know as she also served as a student trustee at this table. Please do have a look on the SCDSB website for more on last year's winner and information about this scholarship. The Human Rights and Equity Office encourages individuals to come forward with questions and concerns. With the Human Rights and Equity Office in place, along with Human Resource Services and Health and Safety, the SCDSB remains committed to holding itself accountable and to ensuring that all allegations of Ontario Human Rights Code violations, harassment, and discrimination are addressed. The Human Rights and Equity Office is an arm's-length office to the board, and all matters within our office remain confidential. Thank you. Excuse me. It is always better to have your concerns safely and confidentially addressed and investigated. Personally speaking, I know it is not a good feeling in one's workplace or place of education to be silently walking around thinking something has been unfair or that one has been poorly treated. In addition, when concerns are brought forward, it is an opportunity for all of us to work together to address them and move forward better. As I have said before, an equitable organization is not one where no wrongs ever happen, but rather one where the right processes get triggered when the wrong things occur. Having systems and processes in place to support the changing needs of all students, families, and staff members is key. This upcoming year, the Human Rights and Equity Office is looking forward to continuing to support the SCDSB with a focus on prevention and promoting a culture of human rights. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments? Trustee Rafiq.
Thank you very much, and through the chair, thank you very much for your report. And I just wanted to thank you as well, Manager Bakari, for bringing that to our Equity Advisory Committee. It prompted a great discussion when you shared this with us there. And thank you for the opportunity at that committee as well to meet your team members. It was great to meet them in person and or virtually in person, and see their excitement for their roles. It was really great to see that. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, thank you very much for that report, Manager Bakari. And we'll move on to C, other matters. And E1 is the report from liaison members. Are there any reports from liaison members? Trustee Lloyd?
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair, to the table. Just wanted to let everyone know I did attend the education policy or education program work group meeting that OPSPA held on Friday, September the 12th. We did have a joint meeting with the policy development work group as well, and we did have staff from the ministry attend who are involved with our attendance counselor program, as well as Giselle Bazante, the Deputy Minister of the Equity and Governance Branch. The focus of a lot of the discussion was related to student attendance and students' regular attendance at school. It is a focus of the ministry. They are aware of some of the challenges post-pandemic with irregular attendance or lack of commitment to attend on a regular basis. And so they are working to promote and encourage that and look at new initiatives that will be available to support student attendance due to the fact that it's tied so strongly to academic success and graduation rates. So it was a very good meeting, and I felt it was, the Deputy Minister, Gel Basante, was there and was very forthcoming and very honest and direct, and it was probably a tough crowd due to some of the commentary that's going on provincially. And she refocused and said that they were really committed to continuing the work that needed to be done regardless of some of the commentary. So I did have the opportunity to show some shout outs for Simcoe County District School Board during that discussion. So anyway, I just wanted to update everybody with respect to that. And then also I will be attending the Office of Board of Directors meeting this Friday and Saturday in Toronto, and will provide an update after that.
All right, very good. Thank you, Trustee Lloyd. That takes us to E2 then, questions and comments from trustees. Are there any questions or comments from trustees? Trustee Rafiq?
Thank you very much, and through the chair, I want to say a great big thank you to Superintendent Numi. She's taken me to a bunch of schools lately, so I thank you for the welcome to, I've got a list of them now, so I'll go through that first. So we visited Nottawasaga Creemore with Principal Shackle, Clearview Meadows with Principal Saunders, Pine River with Principal Richter, Angus Morrison with Principal Meriwether, and New Lowell with Principal Moxham. So we had some wonderful school tours, which was great, visiting classrooms, visiting learning centers and things like that. But we also had some great principal discussions as well. It was really nice to have some time to have some discussions with principals, and it was really interesting to see developing trends. When it's interesting when you go to a school and a principal tells you about something new happening, and then you go to the next school and they tell you the same thing of new thing happening. You go to the next school and they tell you the same thing of a new thing happening. So it's interesting to see those developing trends and how schools are reacting to things and doing the work on the ground to figure out how to handle those new challenges. But yes, I greatly thank all the principals. I greatly thank Superintendent Newby for her time and the principals as well. I always make sure to tell them I understand how busy they are. I understand what busy jobs they have. They run all day, and yet when we trustees come to visit, they stop. They're slow, they're quiet, they pay attention to us, and I know what a big deal that is. I know they're stopping from doing a lot of other things when they're with us, and so I greatly, greatly appreciate that time. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Trustee Rafiq. Any other comments? Trustee Foley?
Thank you, and through you, Chair. I had the opportunity this morning to be at Wasaga Beach Public School, and I was there when the students were helping the town staff plant trees, courtesy of Todd Young from Home Hardware and Trees Canada. They've been planting trees in town for a while, and they planted some today at Wasaga Beach Public School. So that was wonderful. A lot of people involved, and sandwiches and drinks afterwards were greatly appreciated. So that's making an empty field look like a little forest. So quite pleased with that. And I'd like to thank the Wasaga Beach Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. Today they donated about 50 pounds of safe school snacks for our schools, and they'll continue to do that at their upcoming monthly meeting next month. So very pleased that they reached out and recognized the food insecurity of some of our schools and our students. So yeah, very happy with Wasaga today.
All right, well, thank you for those comments. Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, Trustee Connors.
Today I attended the On the Move flag raising at the town of Bradford West Gwillimbury. Matthew, the Superintendent Webb was there, and some other board staff. And this was the town proclaiming, I believe it was October 1st is On the Move Day for the town of Bradford, where they're hoping that students will walk or wheel to their bikes or scooters to school.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. Are there any other comments or questions or comments? Nope. Okay. Yes, Trustee Lloyd.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair, to the table, I would just like to take the opportunity to thank all the staff in the room and all the staff in the board for all the work that goes into getting all of our students back to school and on buses and everything ready for them. And you know, I can only speak for my area, but it's been a very smooth return to school. We have a lot of students and a lot of staff and a lot of buildings, and it's a magnificent undertaking. And so just thank you to everyone for all the work that went into it, and let's hope it's a good start to the year and it continues.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, go ahead, Trustee Rafiq.
Thank you so much, and through the chair. Sorry, I just want to mention one more thing. I just wanted to mention there's a significant amount of construction surrounding Angus Morrison School right now. It's kind of in a unique position where it's in a spot where there's roads all around it, 4 roads all around, and most of them are torn up right now under construction. And I had a resident reach out to me that she was very concerned about the situation. She wasn't in town, but she had heard about it and was coming to the school and came. So I went over and had a look. I just kind of observed at pickup time, and I was really, really impressed. It is a very dicey situation over there. Like I said, the roads are very torn up, but it's very well-oiled machine. The buses were all in a nice line. The parents picking up were in a nice line in vehicles. The walkers were all set. The sidewalks are done very nicely and cordoned off, and it's all very clear. And you know, for somebody looking at the situation, I can see how it could be worrisome for lots of kids walking around with so much construction going on. But they're really paying attention to safety and detail and planning over there. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody involved for that. It's a well-oiled machine.
All right, well, thank you very much for those comments. Any other comments? Okay, so we're going to move now to E3, which is notices of motion for next meeting. Are there any notices of motion for next meeting? Vice Chair Strawn?
Thank you, Chair Powell. I have a notice of motion regarding revisions and additions to the board bylaws. It's moved by myself and seconded by Trustee Rafiq that the board approve the following revisions or additions to the board bylaws. 1, Article 2, meeting of the Board of Trustees, page 7, under regular board meeting number 3, strike have sent regrets and add are absent and in person or electronically to bring the wording into compliance with the legislative language so that number 3 reads as follows. A quorum of the board will consist of a majority of all members of the board. Should there be no quorum present 15 minutes after the time appointed for the meeting, the names of members who are absent or have authorized absence and members present in person or electronically will be recorded. Items for information may be presented, after which time the meeting will adjourn. 2, Article 2, meetings of the Board of Trustees, page 8, under order of business for regular meetings, item 2B, recommendations for action, add public session in brackets to the title heading to signify that the recommendations are coming from public session, distinction for public and closed session to avoid confusion. Number 3, Article 2, meetings of board trustees, page 8, under the order of business for regular board meetings, item 2B, recommendations for action. Number 3, that board minutes be added to B3 so that item B3 reads as follows. Board minutes, committee minutes, reports, items for decision, items pulled from the consent agenda. 4, Article 2, meeting of the Board of Trustees, page 8, under order of business for regular board meetings, item 2E, recommendations for action, add closed session in brackets in the title of the heading to signify that a recommendation is coming from the closed session, a distinction for public and closed session to avoid confusion. 5, Article 5, Standing Committee of the Board, page 12, that number 1 be amended as follows, that the Standing Committee of the Board are 1, business, first Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m., 2, program, second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. The structure for the standing committees was struck during the last set of bylaw amendments. It is suggested that the meeting date and time be added back to the bylaws as per past practice. 6, Article 7, Standing Special Bylaw Committee Rules and Procedures, page 14. Under 2.1, that the wording, with the exception of the vice chair of the bylaw committee, be struck, and that the language be amended for greater clarity to read as follows. That the chairperson of the board will not chair a standing committee, that the vice chairperson of the board will be a member of all committees of the board, but will not chair a standing committee. The vice chair of the board will chair the bylaw committee. 7, Article 9, amendments and bylaws, page 18, that the second sentence, which currently states, within 5 days of such a notice being given at a regular board meeting, the same notice shall be sent to all members by electronic mail, be struck and replaced with, the notice of motion shall be sent to all members of the board by electronic mail on the Friday preceding the regular board meeting that the notice of motion is being given. And this is so that trustees have notice of motion in advance of a meeting instead of after the meeting. And this would save having to read the amendments word for word at the meeting. The formal report with the changes would still come forward at the next regular board meeting the following month. So if you all accept this at the next meeting when it is a motion, I won't have to do this again, and neither will anybody else.
All right, thank you very much for that. Because that goes to Jennifer. Okay. All right, so that'll be on our next meeting. So I guess we'll move on to E4, which is professional development seminars attendance. Do trustees have any reports regarding professional development or any professional development to declare? Trustee Foley.
Thank you, Chair. I had the opportunity to attend the Internet Child Exploitation Conference last week, and it was a 4-day conference focusing on child exploitation and sexploitation, sextortion, a variety of things, which I found very insightful and useful for our board. And I've shared some of that information with Superintendent Young. So very interesting, and I'd recommend anybody at this board go there next year, provided we're all still trustees and the board exists.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you for that. Any other declarations? Nope. Okay. So that takes us to E5, reports and update from staff. And Director Stevens will provide a brief update regarding the September school startup, and we'll share the Celebrates video.
Thank you, and through you, Chair Powell, to the table. We have had a fantastic September startup at the SCDSB. Thank you to our staff who have worked hard to get all of our students settled into their classes. We had the first day of junior kindergarten on September 4th, and I had the opportunity to welcome our students to Ferndale Woods on that day. I want to commend the work of the early years educators who transitions students to junior kindergarten, including supporting many of the parents and families who were there snapping photos and shedding tears. It was amazing to see our youngest learners begin their SCDSB educational journey, our graduating class of 2034. We have had many extracurricular opportunities for our students begin already, and we will highlight a couple of those in our celebration videos. I want to thank our staff and volunteers for their support of organizing and running all of the extracurricular activities for our students. I invite you to watch this quick Celebrates video that highlight 2 events that have occurred in our system. Thank you.
Join us as we celebrate stories from the system in relation to the SCDSB strategic priorities.
Today's special day beats orientation. It's a day where grade 9s come in, find a lot of fun activities throughout the day, and hopefully they're more comfortable when they come in for their first day on September 2nd.
I remember my grade 9 orientation. It was just such a fun experience, and there's so many memories that come with it. Even some people that were in my orientation group in grade 9 are still my friends, and it's such a good way to meet friends and learn a little bit about the school and learn about our clubs and sports activities.
We are hosting a junior jamboree here at Maple Ridge Secondary School. This is our 6th year running this program. It's a great day for the juniors to come out and learn. It's coaches on the field, new players, refs are there to help out. So it's a big learning curve today where we start at the beginning of the day and huge improvement for the players and a great opportunity.
For the latest videos and positive news, visit the Celebrates page on the SCDSB website.
All right, thank you very much for that. So that takes us now to E6, the correspondence, and we do have one letter. I don't have it in front of me, but it's the Pediatrician Association. It's a very interesting letter. I encourage everyone to take a look at it. Perhaps, do you want to speak to it? No? Okay, maybe Vice Chair Strong could speak to it briefly.
Thank you, Chair Powell. And we all received this letter by email, and then I asked for it to just be put formally on our correspondence since it was addressed to all members. But it is from the Pediatricians Alliance of Ontario talking about the importance of screen-free breaks in schools, and they're particularly focusing on lunch and recess. And I thought the letter was very interesting, which was the reason why I thought we should include it on the broad correspondence, and then also led me to a question of, like, what is our policy around screen use in classrooms, at recess, at nutrition breaks, and do we have any of these screen breaks for our students? And so having this on correspondence, I don't know if, and I probably doesn't require a notice of motion or anything like that, but that is my question, and I thought that perhaps not having asked this in advance, that I wasn't expecting a fulsome answer right now, but maybe a future report back to like either the program committee or the full board on what our policies and practices are, and if we're striving to do anything differently in this area, and if we have had any correspondence, or if we have any relationship with this alliance or some other public health alliance that is related to this aspect of, I guess, screen breaks, which, as I said, interesting concept and something I'd like to learn more about.
All right, thank you for those comments. Yes, I agree. So that takes us to D, which is the closed session. So I need a motion to go into closed. Trustee Talbot, seconded by Trustee Foley. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries, and we're now in closed session. Welcome back to the public session, folks. E is recommendations for action from the closed session. There is nothing to report from the closed session of the board and committee of the whole tonight. And F is future business of the board, standing committees, and advisory committees. Please note the Parent Involvement Committee meeting that was scheduled for September 23rd is being rescheduled to tomorrow, September 25th at 6 p.m. and will be held virtually. The Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting that is scheduled for Monday, September 29th at 10:30 a.m. was originally scheduled as an in-person meeting and has now been changed to a virtual meeting. The the Director Performance Appraisal meeting is October the 1st next at 5:15 p.m. The Business Standing Committee is October the 1st at 6 p.m. Special Education Advisory Committee meeting October the 6th at 6 p.m. Program Standing Committee meeting October 8 at 6 p.m. Indigenous Education Advisory Committee meeting October the 21st at 10 a.m. First Nations Education Advisory Committee meeting October 21st at 12:30 p.m. And the regular meeting of the board is October 22nd next at 6 p.m. Closed session will be held following public session business. Public session will resume immediately following committee of the whole. And that takes us to G, adjournment. Do I have a mover to adjourn? Trustee Bites, seconded by Trustee Wilson. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. We're adjourned.